So what we wanted to do here is just a quick, short instructional video on left foot braking. Just want everybody to give it a shot. A lot of people are asking a lot of really good questions out there. There's a lot of reasons not to left foot brake. Your driver's ed teacher told you not to. We see a lot of people who start left foot braking and then maybe in a panic situation they go full throttle and full brake. So people just sort of panic and flinch and do one of these numbers. Or some people just, try it a few times and don't stick with it long enough to get the coordination down. So you'll see if you're left foot braking every once in a while, you might hit the clutch instead of the brakes. You might hit the brakes and you might be hitting, two pedals at once and that sort of thing. It's just a tricky situation for people as you start getting used to, using two pedals with each foot to try and figure out how to do it. But there's a lot of easy, quick, basic tips. When you start left foot braking, the biggest thing is that you might use your whole leg when you push the clutch in, and rightfully so. It's this big motion where your heel might not even be on the floor when you're operating the clutch. If you try and use the brake in the same way, you're just gonna get whiplash and stall the car out and stop real quick and everything else. So when you start to left foot brake, one good exercise you can do, even just driving down the road, is leave some gas on with your right foot just so the car continues moving, and then get your heel down. Use your ankle with your left foot and sort of get that ankle working so you can feel how much brake pressure you're really using. So even driving straight down the interstate, you can do that. You just keep the throttle down so your car keeps moving, and then just feel the brake with your left foot a little bit every once in a while and try and get it so you can ease onto the brake and ease off of the brake smoothly. At first, like I said, you might be jerky and doing this sort of stuff, and that's fine. But as you get the hang of it, you're really looking for just smooth brake applications on and off. And so your left foot's actually moving just like your right foot would. When you traditionally brake, you're going for the same type of motion with your left foot on the brake pedal. So you can drive around and just get used to that a little bit, The thing to keep in mind is that a lot of cases, if you're coming into a corner in third gear and coming out of it in third gear, that's a fine time to use your left foot on the brake. It's when all of a sudden you have to shift that it's a problem. So, at first I'm sure you can find some corners where you're coming into it in the same gear as you might be coming out of it. Well, that's a good time to get a feel for just left foot brake coming into a corner and then get it turned and you're good. If you need to shift, you just switch your feet over. Use the clutch when you need to and then continue driving just like you normally would. But it's a big key factor. Use the clutch if you need to, but immediately move your left foot back over to the brake pedal. A few different scenarios, maybe you're on a back road and there's a lot of animals, maybe there's a lot of, traffic, or maybe somebody just pulls right out in front of you. If your left foot's just hovering over the brake pedal in an emergency situation, you can stop really, really fast. So that's one reason to use the clutch, but then cover the brake again with your left foot and get the hang of it. So as you're going around, this case, second gear, I can left foot brake, do whatever I want because I'm coming out in second gear. Maybe I'm in third gear, I can right foot brake or certainly heel and toe shift like you normally would. But again, go right back to left foot braking. So just like you normally do coming into a corner, you can certainly come in, brake before you get there, get it turned, shift whenever it's appropriate, and you're done. A lot of people get caught up thinking that, if I left foot brake, I can't shift. And the matter of fact, it only takes a half a second or something to change gears or whatever you're doing, so it's not that big a problem. You could come in, again, left foot brake, get it sorted out, switch your feet over, and then either heel and toe shift or like that, or do whatever you want to as far as shifting. But it's not that big of a deal, especially on a back road like this. It's really nice to have your left foot over the brake so that if something happens, or if you want to play around a little bit more, you've got your left foot just hovering over the brake pedal. So it's a case where it doesn't matter. I'm in fifth gear right now. You can come into a corner like this, say I want to be in second gear when I get there, just brake, slow it down, switch your feet, I'm in second gear again, and done. So you practice doing that enough so that it starts to become natural. You could be in fourth gear like I am right here. Same thing, coming into a corner, left foot brake to slow it down, or even heel and toe shift down into second like that, and you're fine to keep driving away. It gets brought up a lot, shifting without the clutch, and how you can left foot brake and shift without the clutch, and that's a good thing to be able to do. Certainly get a feel for it. If you're doing it in your own car where you can shift without using the clutch already, you just do the same exact thing as you normally would, and that's fine. So get a feel for doing that. I could come in, say I'm in third gear, coming down into this corner right here, I can just left foot brake, shift without the clutch. I'm in the right gear by the time I get here, and you're gone. And then same thing, you can shift up without the clutch. That's fine. Come down into here, left foot brake, shift without the clutch, and you're in gear and driving happily along. So that's the idea with some of the modern racing transmissions as well, dog boxes and sequentials, is that you never need to use the clutch as you're going, and the fact is most normal cars, you don't need to use the clutch once you're moving. It's just certainly something to practice, and that's a whole different skill set trying to shift without the clutch, but if you mix that in with left foot braking, it gives you a lot of opportunities. But even operating the clutch, normal daily driver type of activities, it's just fine. You can come in different situations like this. I'm in third gear. If I want second, just go for it. My left foot's back over the brake. It's no problem. And you can do all your maneuvers and then carry on, and you'll see that whenever you do need to use the clutch, it's just literally as simple as moving over and doing it, back over the brake. You could go to fourth gear. You could come in, same thing. Use your right foot because you know you're going to need to shift. And then you're gone. So it's really only takes a few hours, a few days, maybe something to play with a little bit in your daily driver to get the feel for left foot braking and how to do it competently in pretty much whatever you want to do in your daily driver without stalling it out. Sure, you'll hit the brakes instead of the clutch a few times or vice versa, but it's really important to just practice it a little bit before you get out in a situation where you're trying to use it, to slide around corners. Out here we've got a dozen reasons for left foot braking and a lot of different braking type of maneuvers that we're doing, but even in your standard daily car there's application for it, even if it's just for practice and just for getting a little seat time and making your drive to work a little more interesting. It's certainly something that's good to be able to use each foot to cover two of the pedals when you need to. So certainly if you're thinking about coming up here to the rally school, definitely watch this video, play around with it a little bit and have some fun. Get your ankle working, and certainly you'll get a lot smoother with your braking before you even come up here, and that's a big advantage if the first day you're not trying to hit the brakes like this. If you come already with a little bit of smoothness, and just the coordination of knowing which pedals you're using, so you're not jamming the wrong ones or hitting two at once or getting your feet caught up or anything like that. So that's all I got. Have fun out there and be safe.